fashion in which he just defeated Keith Thurman.
The towering Inferno is still the towering Inferno. He's a problem. He's 6'6", 154. He's a problem for anybody.
Mike, what you think?
Like I said, it's hard for anybody to come back after 3 years and try to come back and fight the top guy in the division. And Fundora went out and done what he's supposed to do. I mean, Thurman done what he could do, but this wasn't enough. And he was just too elusive and too busy for him.
Hey, brother, how you doing, man? Well, talk about what happened with Keith tonight.
Man, I'm heartbroken for my man, but we knew it was gonna be an uphill battle. Hey, Fundora beast, bro, beast.
So you put that on top of it. He 36, 37 years old. Injuries and everything that he done went through, with his body breaking down on him. All these postponed fights and due to injury or his opponent getting injured and stuff, man. Like, Keith's career, man, the end of his career has been a travesty.
The boxing world didn't just react, it shifted when Keith Thurman faced Sebastian Fundora. As Caleb Plant admitted, Fundora looked unstoppable, executing a chillingly precise plan, flawless coaching, and a performance that felt calculated from the very first second.
Stopping Keith. Yeah, Fundora did great tonight. He had a great game plan. He implemented it. He got great coaching. He's got, a great chin, great gas tank. And he's just a great fighter, man.
Was there anything that surprised you about the fight, or you felt like Keith could have done a little bit better?
Man, I think, it's just, it's a hard puzzle to solve.
Right?
Yeah.
In terms of 154, do you, based on how he fought, do you see Fundora being the best at 154?
Yeah, right now I think he's got the most momentum. He's got a lot of confidence, and right now I think he's on top of his game.
Is there anyone you see being able to handle that size, that length, just the pressure?
I mean, I would never. I'm not going to say there's nobody out there that can't get it done, but right now, as far as the eye test goes,
Rolando Romero didn't hold back, insisting Sebastian Fundora is freakishly tall for the division, almost unnatural, hinting at borders on unfair, and darkly suggesting there might be quiet, unspoken tricks in boxing that nobody dares to openly address.
Version of Fundora, the best version you've seen, and
man, that dude need to be 86 from the division. He way too tall. I'm sorry, they need to calibrate them scales. I don't know how he making them weight classes. It is not fair.
Cheat code.
It is not fair.
So he beats Virgil Ortiz. You think
it is. Forget about. It is not fair for him to be in that weight class.
Would you pick him against the 154? So is that what you're saying? Like,
it is not fair for him to be in that weight class. They need to calibrate them scales. We don't know how he makes that weight. All stuff. There is some kind of trickery going on in boxing that nobody wants to talk about.
What do you think about the sustained beatings that he passes out? When he fights, it's the way he gets on top of people and just destroys them.
Man, he over there trying to chop everybody's head up.
Ryan Garcia broke the silence on X right after the fight, warning, called it, Fundora-style nightmare for Thurman. Congrats. Way to go, Fundora, his words hitting like a prediction fulfilled, praising ruthless dominance and eerie confidence, while Timothy Bradley coldly declared Keith is no longer one-time Thurman, insisting his career is finished, exposing a performance that looked flat, shaken, and far from impressive.
Watching Keith fight, watching Fundora, watching Keith, I'm looking at their resumes, and I'm just like, man, if Keith pull this off, man, this fight right here might put his ass in the Hall of Fame. If he win this fight, man, this might put him in the Hall of Fame, man. He got some good names on his resume, like, Guerrero and Sean Porter and, a few others. He got some good names on his resume. But this right here, how long he really been out of the ring, like, in the last 3 years, he's only been 3 rounds, people. He's only been he's only been 3 rounds. The last 3 years, he's only been 3 rounds. Yeah, he gonna have to kill Fundora. Fundora is he like a damn rooster. He just keep plucking and plucking and plucking. If you don't take his life, kill him, he ain't got no breath in his body, you can't beat him. I promise y'all that, man. That dude will throw and throw and throw and throw and throw and keep throwing, eating shots and keep throwing. Anyways, man, I'm praying for you, Keith. Man, for real. I think I'm bullshitting. I'm praying for Keith, man. I'm praying for him. I'm praying for Regis Prograde. Ooh, I'm praying for Regis Prograde. Oh.
Roy Jones Jr. weighed in on the aftermath, describing Sebastian Fundora as a towering inferno, an almost unreal force, praising how he turns his height and reach into a calculated weapon, executing a unique, relentless style that suffocates opponents and allows him to quietly, methodically dominate every moment inside the ring.
Fundora went out and done what he's supposed to do. I mean, Thurman done what he could do, but just wasn't enough. And he was just too elusive and too busy for him. I mean, he wanted to fight. The referee done the right thing. We stopped the fight. There's no need taking on unnecessary punishment. He's a good fighter. And I mean,
excessive punishment for no reason.
For no reason whatsoever.
What do you think happens next for Keith? Is it time to hang him up or to maybe look for a different division? Where do you think he goes from here, Roy?
Well, for me, it's hard to come back at a fighter like that. When you come back fight, you go into the top guy in the division. It's hard to do that, bro. So he's going to do other things, but it's hard to do that.
Teddy Atlas didn't just praise Sebastian Fundora, he delivered it like a warning, saying Fundora is weaponizing his height and unorthodox style with chilling precision, operating at a level that feels almost untouchable, performing at his absolute peak, and right now standing in the most dangerous, unstoppable prime of his entire boxing career.
What's your thoughts on that one?
With the confidence he's got right now, using his height, the way that he's using it, a lot better. His length and his height, not just his height. It's not out of question that he could beat anybody. It's not out of question he could beat anyone. Boots is a real good, solid fighter, and he's undefeated. He hasn't learned how to lose. That's a big, big plus. That he has not learned how to lose. And he was a real good amateur. He's a very solid fighter, Boots. Again, he's a very dimensional fighter. He can fight inside, he can box, he can pressure you, he can punch. He's a good body puncher.
Antonio Tarver speaks with a heavy sense of heartbreak for Keith Thurman, yet can't ignore the looming threat of Sebastian Fundora, calling him a relentless beast destined to become a nightmare for anyone daring to face him next.
Not right now, but Fundora's gonna be a tough out for anybody, bro. He's learning how to use his reach and height a lot better, so he's gonna be a tough puzzle to solve. Thank you.
Keith Thurman didn't hide his frustration after the outcome, claiming the referee robbed him of a fair chance, insisting he still had more to give and could have pushed through if the stoppage hadn't come when it did, describing the moment as deeply unfortunate, unsettling, and a bitter ending that didn't reflect the fight he believed was still unfolding.
They make a mistake, and he was just getting way too comfortable. He had a hard press, and we were right on the verge of getting to that sweet spot where both of us were ready to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow, and the ref couldn't handle the violence and, what I was taking. A lot was on the gloves. Some of this on this side was me catching. I remember a fight that I had where on the side of my head looked like a monster symbol, right? And I was like, how the heck did that happen? And it came from the inseam of my own fist. You got 1, 2, 3. The inseam of my own fist hitting my own head, that's where my bruising came from. So we get bruised up just from blocking shots as much as we get bruised up from taking shots. So it's just unfortunate, man. I really think I could hear the crowd. The fight was really just getting good. I was on my feet, never got dropped, and it's just unfortunate.
Teddy Atlas weighed in on the referee's lightning-fast stoppage, recognizing Fundora's relentless heart yet admitting countless viewers saw it as premature, explaining the official's cautious choice given Thurman's state, while acknowledging the tension between fairness and safety, and revealing the uneasy balance that left both sides convinced they were right, yet neither fully satisfied.
Absolutely, but the referee, a lot of viewers not too thrilled with referee Taylor tonight in that quick stoppage.
I agree. Listen, I can't argue with them, but I don't like to be on the fence. I'm not known for sitting on the fence, but I could understand and don't disagree with them, but at the same time, you could see that the referee kind of knew he'd be safe stopping this because, like, how you gonna really go nuts on him when the guy's busted up, when it was a shutout, and it didn't look like it was gonna change.
Richard Torres unleashed his reaction to Sebastian Fundora's chilling performance, zeroing in on the boxer's monstrous reach, towering height advantage, and relentless, suffocating pressure, pointing out how every opponent, even a seasoned fighter like Keith Thurman, crumbles against his unorthodox style. He praised Fundora's ironclad resilience, uncanny ability to absorb punishment, and non-stop aggression, marveling at how rare it is to witness a 6 feet 6 inches fighter at 150 pounds command the ring with such terrifying efficiency. Torres emphasized that this lethal fusion of size, skill, and relentless drive doesn't just win fights, it rewrites the boxing landscape, transforming Fundora into a game-changing, unpredictable force, while leaving the audience on edge, eager, and slightly unsettled about what terrifying chapter comes next in his career.
Saw Sebastian Fundora put on one of those Fundora-esque, Inferno-esque performances again tonight, man. Tell us what you saw.
What are you supposed to do against that guy, man? You know, he's a guy that wants to come at you, wants to stay active, but has this reach that's insane. He can hit you from across the ring, and every guy is going to be significantly shorter than him. That's a fight, man. Like, anytime he gets in the ring, you know the other person's going to have a difficult job because he's never fought someone like him. You know, he's just a different guy. You know, I used to, not like watching film on some of my guys because, they never fight me how they fight other people. I think that's how Fundora must feel all the time. He's never going to get a fighter that can fight his natural style or the style that he wants to fight against him. He's 6'6" and 150 pounds. It's insane.
I mean, and it's crazy, man, when you land punches on him, this is a dude who truly seems like he takes it personal. Not like he gets mad, but if you hit him hard, he hits you 6 or 7 times. Yeah. He is as nasty as they come.
And he took a shot like a champ, too. He took 3 or 4 of Keith Thurman shots, and he ate him, man, and kept coming back. That was incredible. It was a really great showing from him, and I'm just excited to see what's next from him. I'm a fan, you know? And it's weird because, you see it on TV, but you don't get, the awe until you're in person of, that size discrepancy with, I don't know when I've seen it like that again, you know? 6'6" versus what was he, 5'8", 5'6"? It was almost a foot of just height and then the length and everything. That guy's dangerous, man.
Right. I mean, and for Keith Thurman, we haven't seen Keith Thurman get bludgeoned like that. We haven't seen him get beaten like that. I mean, he seemed to have been angry in the corner after the stoppage, but even then, man, I mean, still, this was an absolute, we've never seen Keith get stopped. Let's start there.
The Blue Blood Sports TV host erupted in reaction to the brutal clash between Sebastian Fundora and one-time champion Keith Thurman, highlighting how Thurman, once a dual WBC and WBA title holder, was systematically dismantled. Fundora, now 24-1-1 with 16 knockouts, seized control from the opening bell, dominating every round and brutally stopping Thurman in the 6th, showcasing a level of precision and power that left viewers stunned. The host underscored Fundora's staggering growth since his loss to Brian Mendoza, noting his mastery of distance, pace, and range control, landing crushing uppercuts from 2 feet away while forcing Thurman relentlessly onto the back foot. Even Thurman's intelligence and victories over Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and Manny Pacquiao could not withstand Fundora's lethal combination of reach, technique, and aggression tonight. The commentary turned somber as the host suggested Thurman might need to consider retirement after enduring such a merciless display, while simultaneously applauding Fundora's evolution, warning that his towering height, calculated technique, and raw power now make him a terrifying, game-changing challenge for anyone in the division, including elite contenders like Virgil Ortiz, leaving the boxing world both in awe and on edge for what comes next from this unstoppable force.
Keith one-time Thurman, who at one point in time held the WBC and the WBA title. They fought tonight. Sebastian Fundora is now 24 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 16 wins by way of knockout. And he absolutely beat the stuffings out of Keith Thurman, who is now 31 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 23 wins by way of knockout. And he stopped Keith Thurman in the 6th round. Sebastian Fundora just retired Keith Thurman, people. I don't want to see Keith Thurman come back after what I just witnessed. Keith Thurman just took a brutal beating. Literally. He took a brutal beating. Sebastian Fundora has gotten leaps and bounds better than when he got knocked out by Brian Mendoza. Right? It's typical of people to harvest a flaw that they saw and not pay attention to the progress. And everybody harvests on the fact that he got caught with this right hook. He got caught by Lubin by it, he got dropped, and he got knocked out by Fundora by it. By Brian Mendoza. He has made the adjustment to that now. He has literally made the adjustment to that. He fights tall. He's very active with his jab. He controls the range. And
Sebastian Fundora executed a masterful, almost unsettling game plan, relentlessly using his towering jab to control distance and dictate the fight's every beat, leaving Keith Thurman scrambling to close gaps or cut off the ring, while Fundora glided with eerie ease, fully in command and neutralizing any threats. After the fight, when questioned about his dominant display, Fundora confessed he hadn't anticipated it unfolding so smoothly, a revelation that only added to the sense of dread surrounding his rise. Observers are now casting doubts on Thurman's future in boxing, with many whispering he may be relegated to gatekeeper status in the division, yet the bout also underscored just how formidable Fundora has become. His deadly fusion of reach, precision timing, and ring IQ renders him a nearly untouchable adversary, a calculated nightmare for anyone stepping into the ring. Each movement, feint, and jab feels premeditated, proving he is not merely a contender but a rising, unstoppable force at 154 pounds, whose presence alone reshapes the division's hierarchy and leaves opponents, and fans, on edge, bracing for the next chapter of his rapid ascent.
Fundora had a great game plan by just extending a long jab, keeping the distance the whole time, and really at the end of the day, Keith Thurman had a hard time really cutting the distance, excuse me. Fundora had an easy time, really cutting the ring off. Not a lot of complications in this fight. After the fight, Fundora said that, hey, they asked him, listen, did you feel like it was going to be this easy? And he said, nah, I didn't think it was going to be this easy. Now, as far as Keith Thurman is concerned, a lot of people are saying, hey, is this it? Is he the official gatekeeper? Well, yes, boxing is trying to make Keith Thurman the gatekeeper. Now it's just up to, it's up to him at the end of the day. This was a hard task. Anybody that fights Fundora, it's just a different type of obstacle.
Thurman tried to muster body shots and leaned on lateral movement, head slips, and sporadic defense, yet his efforts lacked any cohesive offensive plan, leaving him exposed and reactive. Meanwhile, Fundora methodically increased the pace, growing more comfortable with each passing round, honing his timing to near perfection, and displaying a level of skill and adaptability that seemed almost preordained. Looking beyond this fight, Fundora openly declared his ambition to face top contenders, even teasing a spot on an all-Mexican card with Canelo Alvarez in September, a bold statement that sent ripples through the boxing world. He also directly called out Virgil Ortiz, making it clear he isn't just content with victories, he's intent on challenging anyone, asserting dominance, and cementing his reputation as a relentless, rising force in the division, a fighter whose combination of size, precision, and calculated aggression now makes him a nightmare matchup for anyone daring enough to step into his path.
Keith was going into the strong hand of Fundora, and it was complicating me trying to figure out what he was trying to do. He really didn't have a game plan. He landed a few body shots, and whatnot, but stayed on the outside really with the lateral movement a lot, not really active with the hands. You know, good head movement at times, but Fundora, it was just a matter of time until he kept pushing that pace and getting a little bit more comfortable and finding his timing. So now everyone's asking, wow, what's next? He says he wants to fight everybody. But in the same time, right, we did hear Fundora say that he would like to fight on that all-Mexican card with Canelo Alvarez in September. He wants to fight Virgil Ortiz. Now, there's lots of talks about June 27th against in New York City. Obviously, you've seen Xander Zayas. He signed.
Sign, seal, and deliver.
An analyst on YSM Sports Media lavished praise on Sebastian Fundora, labeling him a rare unicorn and boldly claiming he could defeat anyone at 154 pounds, emphasizing that no fighter in the division poses a true threat because Fundora adapts flawlessly to every style thrown at him. On paper, Keith Thurman stands as one of the division's elite, second only to Jamal James, which only magnifies the magnitude of Fundora's triumph. The analyst dissected the so-called triangle theory, pointing out its flaws. Although Fundora had been previously stopped by Brian Mendoza, Mendoza himself was later defeated by Jonas Tells, proving that past results don't fully capture Fundora's evolution. Every detail, from his reach to timing, showcases a fighter capable of neutralizing any strategy, and the analyst stressed that this level of adaptability and skill makes him not just a rising contender but a dominant, nearly untouchable force, whose presence at 154 pounds now reshapes expectations and leaves the division's top fighters scrambling to even imagine a way to counter his unique combination of power, intelligence, and unorthodox mastery inside the ring.